How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel. This is Big Daddy Dave, and this is a map tour for a new mod map to Farming Simulator 22 called Sitio Sucuri. And we are going to start, as always, with the description from the mod hub, and it reads: Sitio Sucuri is a small map with small reliefs, small properties, and a preserved vegetation tropical of the interior. The map is based on the region of Rondonópolis, MT, Brazil, containing 60 purchasable fields, 29 of which with missions. Starting as a new farmer, you will have a small farm with machinery and small implements. You'll also have a grapevines, cows and chickens, forest area with reduced price for working with wood. If you need water, you can take it from the river. In the city, there is a gas station, shop, workshop, and market. Map has all standard sales points and factories, sales of grains at warehouse and cooperative, sales of bales, straw, hay, grass at Mr. Bales, sale of wool and cotton at Mr. Cotton, Mr. Wood's Timber Company for sale of logs and wood chips, sale of milk and derivatives in the dairy, BGA. Collectibles are scattered around the map. The seasonal growth plan is standard. New cultures added: pinto beans. This was created by Agro Kayapira. I apologize. I know I pronounced that wrong. And is 127.66 megabytes to download. Whoo, doggies. Yeah. This one's going to be a rough one, y'all. Buckle up, because this one, I don't know, it just kind of is weird to me. I'm going to just preface that right off the bat, and I'll kind of explain myself as I go. So, let's take a look at the map. This is it. This is Sitio Sucuri. Where do we start? We're up here in this kind of northwestern quadrant. What do we own? We own farmlands 1, 2, and 50. Field prices are, they're up there for, I think, what you get. I mean, unless you're doing like some grass work or whatever, but I mean, you gotta start getting into some really of the smaller fields before it starts getting to be, less than 100K, but pretty much everything's well over $100,000 for each farm, field, all that stuff. So it's going to take a bit. It's going to, especially when you start out with a couple of these fields here, and it doesn't seem to be that large. You cannot purchase the periphery, so there are areas on the map that are just not purchasable, such as down here, just north of 56, beside 59, so on and so forth. You do start with animal pens. There are contracts available. You do have a production chain, one greenhouse, and it's already producing lettuce for you. And there are collectibles, 20 of them as a matter of fact. There are no specific mods to this map, with the exception, or I should say, there's no custom mods. Whew, man, I told you all it's gonna be rough. The only exception to the customization on this is the painting swatches. There are a few extra painting swatches. Now, we are starting here at our starting farm, so that means we got to take a look at our starting equipment. And what do we start with? Under small tractors, we have the New Holland T6 175 and the Valtra A135 High Tech, the Deutzfahr Topliner 4090H Harvester. Under cars, we have the Lizard Pickup 1986. Trailers, the Brantner Z18051/2XXL Powerflex. The header for the Deutzfahr, a Ziegler Corn Champion 5R corn header. Under grape technology, we have the Hardy Mercury 4000L sprayer. Under plows, we have the Agromaz POV 5XL. Under disc harrows, the Horsch Joker 4CT. Under seeders, the Nordstein HK25 plus NS3030. Under planters, the K-brand Maxima 3 till. Under sprayers, the Hardy Mega 1200L. Under fertilizer spreaders, the Amazon ZATS 3200. Under slurry tanks, the Sluchin VT130 and the Spider SP6834 applicator. Under mowers, we have the K-brand GMD 4411. Under teders, the K-brand GF8712. Windrowers, the K-brand GA4731. Balers, K-brand VB3190. The animals, we have the Abbey Attachments 5500 water tanker, as well as the K-brand RA142 mixing wagon. Under front loaders, we have the Quickie Q4M. Front loader tools, the Albert pallet fork. The header trailer for the Deutzfahr. We have a ADCO 650 weight, as well as the ADCO 1100 weight. And lastly, the Bachmann MHAL 4320/35 trailer. Whew. You actually start out with a fair amount of stuff. Quite a bit. But all that is going to take up 1,062 slots of the 4,400 that you have on new gen consoles. On old gen, I think it's cut in half to 2,200. Let's see. Now, we take a look at the farm here. Directly behind us, we do start with a repair trigger, and some of our equipment is here at the farm. Some of it's not. So, yeah, you can see this is just some of the equipment, and this is the first part about this map that's really kind of weird to me, is your equipment is literally spread out all over the place. You look directly in front of us across the street here. I'm going to use this as an example and then we'll come back. Across the street at this house is your seeder. I'm sorry, your planter. Just weird. Just seems like a really odd thing to have your other people's houses, unless it's some kind of, maybe something that happens in Brazil I'm just not aware of, kind of like more communal farming. I don't know. Here we have the chicken pasture, where we can have up to 60 chickens. We already start with 30. Over here we have a sleep trigger, as well as a wardrobe trigger, right there. Behind us is our small greenhouse. It's already producing some lettuce. Over here we have a petrol tank with some diesel in it, almost 5,000 liters. We do have the cow pasture right here. We start out with 30 out of 250. We have all the triggers for it back here. This is actually a cow barn, not a cow pasture, so you do not have to put in water, or I'm sorry, water is necessary, but I thought barns handled water for you. Well, anyways, that's where the water goes anyways. Milk is there, and so on and so forth. Whew. Told you, y'all, this one's gonna be a little different. These are labeled certain ways, and then you're just finding out on the fly kind of thing. Silage clamp right here behind the house. And we are gonna hop into this truck. Now comes the kind of second part of the map that's a little bit kind of odd to me. So you have this kind of road here. There is no direction of traffic. Like, the traffic only flows in one direction. Yes, it does. But, like, oh, see, like this is the other. It's so narrow. You're not going to get big equipment and figure out which way traffic's flowing, because you're going to be the reason that it stops a lot. And you can see there's actually quite a bit of traffic, and it's so narrow. So narrow. Oh. Okay, well. This is the biomass heating plant off to our right, and the BGA is right there. To activate the BGA, you must purchase it. And you must purchase farmland number 10 for $40,176. When you do, all the buttons and stuff to activate and to use the production pop up. Now we head over in this direction. More traffic. Off to our left, we do have a small quarry where we have some lime already available. Directly in front of me is the lime station, so it's buy point for lime, and a debris crusher right there to sell stones from your fields. Let's see. Go this direction. And we reach our secondary farm. Off to our right is all of our grapevines and some more of our equipment, our tractor and sprayer. See, this one, to me, I'm going to stop right here. This kind of makes sense. You're going to have a tractor and the implement to do, you know, your grapes and stuff over here. That makes sense. But as we continue to move, you will see there's so many places where it's just random things are just dotted around the map. And it's just weird. Just weird. And I can't think of a reason why it'd be like that. And if the map maker, you know, were to elaborate on that as to why, or if there's just no reason for it, just because they could do it, hey, more power. Now we come in this gate here. You can see down here we have another sleep trigger. That's the other thing, is you have so many of these kind of empty farms with just sleep triggers. It's, again, just kind of odd. Like, I've never seen a map kind of do this before, so it's just, I don't want to say odd, it's just unique. I've never seen it before. I've never seen another map maker do this. So I'd love to understand why they took this approach. Open that set of gates there. And again, come down here, another kind of empty farm with a sleep trigger. And all these sleep triggers are active for you to use right now. You don't have to own the land to use them. Road does get a little bit rough right around here. So we're actually approaching another farm where there's a sheep pasture. It is your pasture. You can access it and use the sheep that are within it. You don't own the land, but you also have equipment at this farm that you don't own. You own the equipment, but you don't own the farm or the fields. So again, just odd. And you do start off with a little bit of wool already spawned for you. The sheep pasture here can hold 30 sheep or can hold 30 sheep. You don't have any at the start. Now here, again, another sleep trigger. But here's some more of your equipment. This is all your, like, some of your grass care equipment is right here. Your windrower, your tedder, and your mower are just right here. Which, I mean, kind of makes sense because you got your sheep pasture and stuff that you could do, but you can't mow the yard there because you don't own the land. So here, take a look at what we've seen, where we've been. We started here at the farm. Saw the chickens repair trigger, the farmhouse, the garden, the greenhouse, the petrol fuel tank, as well as the cow barn. We pulled out, came out in this direction. We took in the biomass heating plant as well as the BGA that's right here. Came down here, saw the sleep trigger, went back up north, pulled in here to the quarry area and saw the lime station as well as the debris crusher. Came out this way, saw our grape field as well as the sleep trigger. Out to here, back to here, another sleep trigger. Out to here, down across the river, to here, another sleep trigger, out in this direction, to the west, to the north, to the east, to see the sheep pasture, and the sleep trigger, as well as some of our implements. Now again, if we look, we don't own any of these fields, so we can't mow any of the grass that's here. We can't mow the grass that's in the sheep pasture. So our equipment being out here, yeah, it's kind of presumptive that you're going to be able to eventually mow it, but like if you purchase this area, but you can use the pasture, you can use, load in and do that, but you can't get any grass off of the area to be able to feed your sheep, so really no point in doing that unless you're going to buy the bales. So again, it's just again, unique. It's something I don't understand if this is like just something going on that I'm just not privy to, or just something was developed in a way that wasn't complete. Now coming back here, we have another sleep trigger, and our baler is right there. And now this is where we get into rapid fire mode with a lot of productions and sell points. So I'm going to start off here at the edge of town. I'm going to go down one side of the road and then hit the other side. Okay. Starting here, this is the bakery and can be bought for $50,000. To the right is the fast food restaurant sell point, the farmer's market sell point, the cooperative sell point right there, and then over here, oh, I should have pulled in there, because back here in the corner, this is Bales Mr. Cotton. This is a production point. This is like your spinnery. For $60,000, you can purchase that. Over to the right is the dairy. Gonna be a lot of getting out, getting in, pulling forward, getting out, getting in. You know what? $70,000 you can purchase this for. This is what we're going to do. Leave that running. We're just going to run the rest of the way because... let's see. Dairy was right there. You have the grain mill right here for $96,000. You can make that yours. Over here, you have the tailor shop for $100,000. You can make that yours. And here is the wardrobe trigger. And then last on this side, but certainly not least, the carpentry for $60,000. You can purchase that. Across the street, we have the oil mill. You can purchase that for $80,000. Across the way from that is the cereal factory, and for $110,000, you can purchase that. Beside that is the sugar mill. For $80,000, you can purchase the sugar mill. Beside it is the grape processing unit, and for another $80,000, you can purchase that. Now this is Bales Mr. Bales. This is a sell point for your bales. Then we have our gas station, our shop and repair triggers are right here. And then, last but not least in the town, is the pizzeria. Whew. That is a sell point. Okay, rapid fired through that. I was actually not a bad call to hop out of the truck, I say. Okay, now we're going to go slightly out of town to this intersection here. First, we're going to go down here. Directly in front of us is another farm and sleep trigger. Across the street, slow down, there we go. This is Mr. Woods. This is the sawmill. You can purchase this for 100,000. And besides that is the animal dealer. So for any pens you have in the on the map, you can load directly into them from there, or you can load into your animal trailers. Let's see, scroll down just a little bit. There we go. To the right, the warehouse sell point. To our left, gas station. And last but not least is the supermarket sell point. Find it right there in the back. And that is it. That is the map. That is Sitio Sucuri. Yes, Sitio Sucuri. And now we're to the point where I have to render my opinion. 0 to 5 scale as always, and what do I think of this map? Well, although there are a lot of unique features on this map that I've not seen used before, I am going to give this a 2 out of 5. Again, I don't give negative or yeah, I don't give negative reviews as a means to being mean to particular map creators. I'm incredibly grateful to every map creator out there who takes the time and dedication to create a map, because it's going to, at minimum, open up the opportunity for somebody who's out there who might have a different opinion than I do. Somebody might look at this map and be like, hey, this is brilliant. What are you talking about? Just this is my own personal rating. Reasons I don't like it: incredibly narrow roadways here. The fences are, you know, physical, so as you can see there. So I can't get through. There's no way for me to get through now. I have to wait for this van to pass, if they're gonna pass. And there's actually a fair bit of traffic back here, so there are parts where it's so narrow that I can't even get my truck through and one of these vehicles at the same time. So you have to learn the splines, you have to learn what pattern the traffic flows in. You've got all your equipment just spread out all over the map, and it's really like you have to kind of research and figure out where it's all hiding before you just go and collect it. What else? I mean, it's just some positive things I will say about this map. There's a lot of nice sweeping undulations. It's very color palette's actually very nice. I really do like the kind of red dirt look. I don't necessarily care for this. Oh, let's see, here's some more of our equipment right here. I don't necessarily care for all the sleep triggers that are around, and they're all the trailers. They all look exactly the same, so all the individual farms that you can purchase just all look identical. Um, yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily mind the narrow drives and all that stuff. That can actually just be a challenge that can be overcome. You know, having to decide what kind of equipment you want to use. The fields and stuff are relatively flat, so you don't have to compensate with that kind of flatness or like undulations on top of using small equipment. You can actually worry about you know, just having the small equipment and not having to have to get small equipment with the highest amount of horsepower to compensate for any large hills or anything like that, like some maps force you to do. If it has too many large hills and narrow corridors and stuff. So yeah, long story short, overall, but yeah, It's just one of those that it's my opinion. I hope you enjoyed this map tour. If you did, please show me by liking, sharing, subscribing, following, commenting, doing all the things the algorithms enjoy you doing that shows that you're engaged with this channel, enjoying the content. And that being said, I hope you have a fantastic day. Take care.